What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, though? Welcome to the TAGT show. I'm your host, Mr. Slate, and every morning this time you can turn your dials to 810.5 WFLNT radio. That's right, y'all. It's early morning. I need you to go show us that beautiful horse smile you got. Wipe the coal out your eye. Grab a cup of coffee. Sit back. Relax, because I need you charged up and attentive. Welcome to the show. Let's get into some headline news. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, though? Yes, it's your host, Mr. Slade. I want to thank you for tuning in to WFLNT 810.5, the TAGT show. Thank you for tuning in, y'all. Today is March 30th, 2020. It's 11:24 p.m. We are leaving Kansas City, and we are heading over to Lansing, Michigan to drop a portion of a load, and then we're going to finish out until Detroit, Michigan. I hear Detroit, Michigan is getting hit pretty hard with the COVID-19, man. It's getting real bad up there. The hospitals are at full capacity, and there's people steady coming. People that feel they have symptoms to this COVID-19 are urged to stay at home due to the fact that there's no more room. It looks as though that the state government is looking to bring in more beds, satellite locations for the sick and affected. But right now, they're at full capacity. The morgues are full. They have just reached the full capacity. There's nothing more that they can do. Shout out to GM and Ford and other manufacturers and big companies that are stepping up to build and supply us with the respirators and other equipment that is needed. And that's what it's going to take, y'all, for companies here at home in the U.S. to step up and manufacture our own goods. I do hear that we are getting shipments from other countries that are looking to lend a hand and help us out and help us get through this by shipping over equipment and supplies that we need, which I feel that we're an industrial company. That's a big part of that, and I don't see why we are lacking certain supplies. It's mind blowing. But yeah, man, I hope y'all keeping your head up out there. It looks like things are tightening up around the country. They're locking down state borders. People are trying to escape this pandemic and run to the neighboring counties and cities, and the government is stopping. State governments are like, they have, our police officers, state troopers, and National Guards are turning them away and saying, hey, if you're not a resident of this town, city, or state, you can't come in here. And if in fact you have a good reason to come in, it's mandatory that you quarantine for 14 days. So it's getting pretty real, y'all. I'm seeing highway signs stating that if you are not out for essential business, go home, ! So it's getting real serious, y'all. Let's look into the latest updates. The New York Times says data collected from thermometers suggested that stay-at-home restrictions and social distancing are slowing the rate of new infections. So it looks as though that staying at home and social distancing, it works and it slows down the rate of infection for this coronavirus. I'm seeing on Facebook and Instagram where people are still throwing parties and still hanging out in large crowds. And I think we just need a moment, y'all. I know it's hard, but I really do think that we just need a moment to kind of sit tight. I mean, it's kind of easy for me to say being out here riding around the country, but, you know, I believe if I was at home, I would definitely sit tight and, you know, just cool out for a little while. I think that's very important. Workers at Instacart, Amazon, and Whole Foods have played an essential role during the outbreak, which they have delivering food and supplies to homes. But now they're fighting for health protection and hazard pay due to the fact that they're hearing and seeing that people that they have worked next to or worked around or in the same building for that matter have tested positive. So they feel that they should get hazard pay plus health protections like precautions and things like that taken inside the workplace. And I definitely feel that. If I'm expected to still come to work and you're not doing anything to protect me, that's kind of foul. You know, these companies make millions, if not billions of dollars a year. And it says a lot if someone is still willing to go to work in those conditions when my risk of contracting this virus is high. I think asking for a little extra pay and some protection while I'm at work is small thing to ask, considering. You know, there was a video that went viral of this nurse that was told to go to work and report to a section of the hospital that was an infected COVID section of the hospital. And she had stated that she has health problems that could make her susceptible to catching the virus, as well as she had children at home that she doesn't have family that can take care of those children if something happened to her. So she stated that, you know, she quit because I guess the head nurse or whoever that was over her told her to report to that wing of the hospital. And she pleaded her case, and it fell upon deaf ears. So she decided to quit. And, you know, that's messed up, man. You know, that's real foul, man. It's like some people are just clueless, just have no compassion whatsoever. Why would you want to put that lady in that position? I'm quite sure that there was another professional there or someone else that you could have called in. You probably could have told her to go home for the day and called somebody else. Plenty of other ways you could have handled that instead of having that woman quit her job. That's just ridiculous. Well, for that what is it called? The hydroxychloroquine. It looks as though that despite signs of risk, the FDA granted emergency use approval to a pair of anti-malaria drugs for treating the coronavirus patients. So it looks as though that they're reaching at this point, y'all. They're trying anything that may work. They're going and they're reaching. I mean, at this point, what do we got to lose? But that is that hydro. I keep forgetting the name of that. I can't pronounce it, man. You try to say that 3 times fast. Hydroxychloroquine is a very, very, very nasty and dangerous drug. Who put that in Trump's head is beyond me, because he's swearing by it. And scientists are saying no, that this stuff is bad. You definitely don't want to mess with it. And I've heard over in other countries, due to the fact that they heard him say, Trump that is, they heard Trump say that this medicine was good to fight off the virus, that people are dying in other countries, like the West African countries of Nigeria and Burkina Faso will begin clinical trials of chloroquine for emergency treatment of the virus. But I read earlier this week that people were canceling out using that stuff, man. Like, it looks like Italy is jumping on board with that. So I guess it's the way you use it is what I'm getting from reading through the article. People were just jumping on board just because they heard Trump say something about it. So other people in other countries were just jumping on board and just using this stuff. And I guess it's a certain way you got to use it. If I'm not mistaken, it's used for treating lupus as well. I read that earlier. Yeah, man. It's like people are jumping to try anything at this point, man. Looking at the cases up to date, mapping the spread of this coronavirus in the U.S. It looks like we got over 163,000 confirmed cases. We're over 3,000 reported deaths. New York being the epicenter, of course, with over 67,000 cases reported. Over 1,200 deaths reported. New Jersey comes in second with over 16,000 confirmed cases, 198 deaths. Let's look at Michigan, because Detroit is projected to be the next hot spot right now. We're looking at over 6,000 confirmed cases and 185 deaths. With California, 7,289 confirmed cases, but they have a few less deaths, 146 deaths reported. And it goes down the list. I'm getting this from the Washington Post. This is like, man, and if you look at this map, it's spreading, y'all. It's spreading. And that's why they're locking down state borders, because this stuff it's getting bad, man. It's just spreading. It's like, how can we stop it? The only way we can think to stop it is to keep everyone apart. Maryland is the latest state to issue a stay-at-home order. They have a list of states that are joining in on the stay-at-home order. We got Alaska. They started March 28th. California started March 19th. We got Colorado. They started March 26th, going through April 11th at this point. Connecticut, March 23rd. Delaware, March 24th. We got Hawaii. There we go. Hawaii at March 25th. Idaho, March 25th. Illinois at March 21st. Indiana at March 24th. Kansas, March 30th. That was today. So they started today. We got out of there just in time. We just left from over there. They got... they're going to stay in place until April 19th. Louisiana, order took effect at March 23rd till April 12th. Maryland, March 30th. Massachusetts, March 24th. Michigan, looks at March 24th. Minnesota,